curriculum and school.
Thank you so much, Amrit. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, I was with Helen O'Grady for a very long time. I think 20 years, 15 years. And then I took up my own franchise in New Bombay, because I live in Bombay, for those of you who may not know. And I took up the franchise of Helen O'Grady in all of New Bombay, which was a very interesting experience. That entire 15 years I was working with them, and for 5 years I had my own franchise. So my association with them goes to around 20 years, which has been one of my best career stints, if I may. And it was just the most enriching part of my life, where I got to interact with students, with teachers, with principals, learning every day. As a teacher, when you teach, you also learn. So for me, learning through drama was something very phenomenal, because children, each year, each class, when you teach something to children, you learn so much, because everybody comes from their area of exposure, their area of expertise, so to speak. So when you're doing an activity with a child, say, in Mumbai, in Bandra, which is a different set of people, a different demographic group of people, and the same activity when you do in a place which is a little away from the main city, go a little bit into, like a Panvel or something which is not main city, the children over there are different, their experiences are different, and the way they react to that same situation is very different. Drama is, and especially with kids, it's all about their environment. It's all about what is close to them. So if you ask a child a particular topic, or give them a particular thing to do, they will act according to what is their environment. And it's so different and so enriching. And as a teacher, it's more fun, I think, for teachers to teach the children of different demographic profiles, because you learn so much, and then you say, oh, I learned this from this group, I can use this in my other group. So you blend and you mix your experiences so beautifully. So it was really a wonderful experience working with Helen O'Grady. I just took up the job. I had no drama background or any experience, but I learned on the job, and I was lucky enough to be taught by Helen O'Grady herself, who is an Australian lady who started this program in Australia many years ago. I've been in the industry, yes, now that you mentioned, almost 3 decades, make me feel very old, but Helen has been around for that long and more. And when they came to India in 2002, I was the first person that Helen O'Grady hired in India. So going to Bombay, and in Bombay, going to schools, talking to people about drama. And that was, I think till now, drama is not considered important or given any weightage in academics or in education. It's just, it's a class, anybody wants to join, they can do it. And first you have like 20 kids and you're very happy. And then the next session, 10 of them, don't want to do it because humne kar liya hai drama, I don't want to learn drama again. So it just becomes something which is not held with a lot of importance, which actually today I'm glad that the education department is looking at drama in a much more, important, giving a lot more importance about it. So drama, basically, I wanted to tell you basically that drama has various elements to it. What we do in drama is known as creative drama, right? So creative drama is something which we do with allowing the children to use their own emotions and not guide them and tell them that, oh, you've fallen down and you're hurt yourself, now you have to cry, like, oh my God, how much bother ho gaya. So it's not that you tell them what to do, you ask them to express themselves. How would they express anger or fear? Or if they fall down and hurt themselves, how would they react to something, right? So that is what drama is all about. So different elements of drama, if all of us as teachers use a lot of drama, especially the younger pre-primary kids, junior KG, senior KG, lower KG, all of this, you teachers are already doing so much of drama. Yes, the way you'll talk to children, the way you'll exaggerate, use your hands, your voice, all of that actually is a part of drama. So the elements of drama would firstly be, one of the most important things of drama, is not complete without speech, right? So how we speak, how we communicate, how we enunciate, how do we pronounce words, what kind of intonation do we use, all of that becomes a part of using our speech skills to make drama more effective, right? Especially when you're working with children, you are there to develop their language skills, you're helping them to communicate, you're helping them to speak, you're helping them to express themselves. So all of this requires them to be clear with their thought, with their speech, how they speak, how they communicate, right? So speech and vocabulary, and through this, of course, they improve their vocabulary. They learn different new words every day, and I think we all have a certain criteria that at the age of 4, they have to have some 300, 400 words that they should have in their vocabulary. And as they grow older, they should have certain number of words in their vocabulary as a part of their education system. And how do you make it more fun? How do you make it something that they can retain, enjoy, learn? Is using poetry, repetition, right? We do a lot of repetition in our classes so that the children know the words, know how to use them, how to, make them into sentences. So speech, of course, would be, vocabulary would be a part of it as well. So that is one element of drama, right? The second element of drama is what we call as pantomime, which is acting without speech. Okay, so you are pantomime would be just pretending to act like somebody, or you are telling them, okay, if you get a present, how would you react? And then, or you've broken something and you are afraid that your mother might come and shout at you. So how would you behave and how would you react? You don't speak, but how would your eye expression be? What will your body language be? You don't tell this to the children, but and you say, okay, now pretend to be scared. So then you see how different kids will have a different way of expressing fear. Somebody will, close their eyes, or be afraid, or somebody will just become small, or somebody will crawl under the table. We don't know how they would react. So nothing is right and nothing is wrong. That's the beauty of creative drama, is we do not tell them how to behave. We learn from them and say, okay, so this child says fear means this to him. So when he's fearful or she is fearful, this is what he or she, this is how he or she expresses herself. Or when he is angry or she is angry, this is how this child expresses their anger. So for a teacher, when you're learning all this, it is so much more than just having a great time and making the kids have fun. It is for you to know your children better, right? So every child that comes into your classroom, by the end of the first or second class, you more or less know your children very well, right? So creative drama gives you a scope to actually sit back and observe your class and observe what is happening with your children. What are they doing? How are they expressing themselves? And at no point, I would like to express this very, very clearly to all the teachers who are listening to this, is please refrain from judging your students. Observe them. Observe and say, why is a particular child saying this, behaving in this particular manner? What is it about this child that is making him or her behave in this manner? Without being quick to repair and say, oh, this is a bad thing, you shouldn't do this. Observe, take a back seat and say, why is this happening to this child? Because no child comes to class saying, I'm going to beat up somebody, or I'm going to do this. So understand the child's psychology, which you will also do, and I'm sure most of you are learning this, is observe and say, okay, he hit this child once, or he bit this child once, or this child gets scared about something. I wonder why, what is going on in this child's mind? So as a teacher, you need to also, very importantly, observe and then take the next plan of action as to what should we do about this. Is it just a one-off thing? Is it something which happens regularly? Then talk to the child. Understand, why does the child go through this? What is his mindset? Where is he coming from? Then when you start talking to the child, you'll understand maybe his home environment or her home. And I'm just talking about him. It could be him or her. What is the child's home environment? How is that child being treated at home? Does he come back and replay what's happening over there? Yes, please, participants, please turn on your camera. I'd love to see some faces. So that is another important aspect of it, is pantomime, to ask him to act it out. All right. Then you have something called role play. All right. So what is role play? Role play we do in our classes all the time. Yes. When we teach them a story, or we tell them the story of Little Red Riding Hood, or we tell them the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, then we make them act it out in class. I'm hoping that most of you would make them do one girl would be Snow White and the others with the dwarfs, and how they would, act out as all the different dwarfs: grumpy, happy, dopey, sleepy, all of them. So how would each child be? So are we asking them to behave in a particular manner, or after we have told them the story and they have understood the character, are they coming and becoming that character on their own? Supposing I say, I want you to be grumpy. One child is grumpy. Now, is he a happy grumpy who's smiling and being grumpy, or is he really being grumpy about it? So, we are all doing role play at all points of time, right? So this is a part of our, the way we teach children. Very important for them to understand role plays, and for us to understand why they're doing a particular role play. So role play again becomes a very important aspect of when we're teaching them drama. And if you ask the children, why don't you tell me, what does your mother do at home? Pretend to be your mother. So firstly, my first question I ask my students every time when I start a class is, I ask them, do you know what is drama? And sometimes the kids are, of course, the 2 and 3 year olds may not know, but the 4 and 5 will tell you it's acting. So, and I say, okay, and what is acting? And then they say it's drama. So it's drama is acting, acting is drama. But what is it? Right? So then you tell them, you are going to pretend to be something. You're not really it. But supposing I ask you to act like a cat, can you become a cat? And the next thing you know, all the children have gone on their fours and they're going meow, meow, and they're behaving like cats. Yes, that's the natural thing for kids to do. They, okay, now become a ferocious lion, and they'll go, wow. Right? That is just the most beautiful thing. And then you know that they know what it is to pretend to be a tiger or a lion or a cat, or become a nice big tall giraffe. So you get them to act out different characters. Then you say, okay, now you are the doctor or the dentist that you go to, and how would, if I'm a patient and I'm coming to you, how would you be? Then that child will become the doctor or the dentist that he visits, and he will talk to you in the exact same manner that dentist actually talks to the child, or the doctor actually talks to the child. If you notice, children are very, very, very good imitators. They imitate beautifully. They know I know from my own experience, my son used to come back home and he would take over becoming the teacher of the class. So I knew which teacher would speak what, in what tone of voice, what would be her exact good morning, this is what we're going to do, open your books, blah, blah, blah. I knew exactly what that teacher did, because he would come back and he would say, Mama, now you sit here, and then he would become a teacher. Then he would go for a class, after school activities, and he would say, okay, now we're going to play this game. What are the rules? He knew every single thing, and he would come and verbatim tell me what it is in the same tone that the teacher would use. So, you would know that, okay, this is what's happening. And kids are very good at it. And they imitate, they repeat, they're observing you, they're mirroring you, they're copying you. So you as a teacher, as a parent, have a great responsibility to make sure that what you are sending out to the child is healthy, it's good, because they're copying you. If you are going to do something which is not appropriate, then you cannot go and blame the child, because the child is copying you, right? So we have to be very aware of how we are teaching the kids. How are we talking to kids? And sometimes, and I know this happens to a lot of teachers, it's natural that some child we like a little bit more, and some child is little naughty. So we try to pretend to say that, okay, you know, all of them are equal, but one is a little more equal than the others, right? So we have to, because kids are very sensitive. As we know, kids' sensory organs are not just 5 sensory organs, but they can feel from the skin. The minute you walk into class, they will know, miss, what happened? You're not feeling well today. You know, they can sense, they are very, very sensitive. They know, and you can pretend to be happy and smile, but they know that there is something not right today with you. Have you all noticed this with your children? You would notice this with your children, with your own kids at home, or with your school kids. I remember when I used to teach my drama classes, one of the things that Helen had told us to do is always dress up like a Christmas tree. You should be lit up, you know, with bright lipstick and nail polish and, you know, earrings and big earrings and bangles. And so we were not like the normal teachers, right? So when we used to walk into class, children would stop and say, oh, that's the drama teacher. Saying, because if you are the drama teacher, you have to have drama in you, in your clothes, in the way you, everything about you has to be full on drama, completely exaggerated and over the top. So all our actions have to be over the top. All the way we speak has to be over the top, because that's when kids start saying, oh, it's fun to be that. I can do this, right? So one of the things that we would do is, you know, wear a lot of bangles and go to school. And the kids would come and they would just surround, you know, all the kids were like 3rd and 4th standard, just come up to your waist and they'd come and hug me. And then before I knew it, all the girls in one of my class would just take off all my bangles and they'd all be wearing my bangles for the whole class and enjoying themselves. And then I said, okay, earrings, let me keep. But they would just have so much fun, because it was certain a discipline. Yes, there was discipline in class, but it was still more free flowing. It was within that structure. I was doing things which I knew what I was doing in class, but allowing them to flow with the class. Not saying, okay, you have to sit here only, you have to do this only. Of course, that is the benefit of being a drama teacher versus being a maths teacher, right? You have to have certain, kids have to stay in one place, otherwise it goes a little crazy. But within that itself, we would have discipline in class. Within that itself, we would have a fun structure. But at the end of it, they go back home learning so much more. They become much more open, more receptive, because their ideas are coming from various places. And we used to encourage them to say, this is the situation. Now think of a book you've read, a movie which you've seen, something that you've heard. In this situation, what could you apply from your environment and use this situation? So I'll give you an example of a lovely story. I mean, sometimes I think some things happen in your life with some kids which you remember forever, right? So I had asked them to make, these are my 5th graders. Oh, my favorite. 5th graders and 4th graders are the most creative. I had given them pieces of paper. I said, now all of you all have to make one object or 2 objects out of that piece of paper, and you will have to create a story around that object and act it out for me. Okay, so here I'm talking about 9 and 10-year-olds. Okay, I'm not talking about 3 and 4-year-olds, because they're very, very different. So they made a little boat. Okay, easiest thing to do. I said, okay. And then they sat down in a pretend boat and they reached one island. And on that island, there was this big, mean ogre or whatever. And somebody else had made something. And there was some glue for some reason. I don't know why they had the glue thing. But there was a boat and there was glue. And then they said that we've got lost and we've come onto this island, and this ogre, who's actually dressed up very nice, says, oh, please come, you know, come onto my island, I'll help you. And they thought, oh, he's such a nice person. This is all their imagination. I'm not making this up. My story, it is their story. And they go to the island, and then the ogre says, come, I'll make you food, wash your hands. So they wash their hands, and then instead of water, he put glue on their hands, and they got stuck. Okay, their hands got stuck. Then he tied them up. He said, now y'all are my slaves, and y'all are going to do what I say. Others, I'm not going to let you free. So they were like, oh my God, what do we do? But then they had to, follow him and do whatever he had to do. One day he went out somewhere and they played the same trick on him and say, okay, food is ready. Come on, let's eat, wash your hands. And they made him wash hands with that glue. And then his hands got stuck and they tied him up to the thing, went on the boat and went back home to safety. So the way they created this beautiful story, because they had read it somewhere, or they sat down together and said, I saw this movie or read this book, and they extrapolated from various things and came up with a story of their own. This was such an original and interesting story, because I was like, wow, that's really nice. But that's the freedom that the kids have to do whatever they want to do. That is what creative drama, or what we do in our activities in our classes, is all about: allowing the children to let their minds think laterally, to let them have a free-flowing thought process. Yeah. Something else that we do with them, of course, is a very, very integral part of drama, and is movement, right? Movement, dance, activities relating to that, so they can learn to be more free-flowing with their bodies, okay, to be very comfortable with their bodies, because drama is all about going out there, speaking your dialogues, saying your dialogues, and making it all become very interesting and fun. So all these elements, okay, of speech, which of course develops a vocabulary, of role play, of pantomime, of dance and drama, all of them combine together and make what we call in creative drama an improvisation. An improvisation is a small play that they will perform for the teachers or the parents at the end of the session. So we give them a subject or a topic, but before they come and actually perform as a group, when each group says, first this group is going to do this, then the next group is going to do this, then there is a play, right? In a play, everybody has a role to play. After this person will come in, then the other person comes in. Then that's the whole part of creating a small drama or a play in front of the audience. But for each child to come and do his part takes preparation, right? You have to prepare them from earlier so that they can do this. And then it becomes more seamless and effortless when they're performing on stage. Now, typically in our classes, we would have a lot of students whose parents would say, my child is not confident, my child is not good in English, my child's vocabulary needs to be improved. Therefore, I am putting my child in. Sorry, I went mute. Hello, can you all hear me, anybody?
Yes, ma'am. You were on mute, ma'am.
For how long?
Ma'am, just now.
Okay, I just saw that. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. So when you have children who are not very good with their speech, or they're shy and they need more confidence to come up on stage, and they do, because that's how you practice with them in the entire, during your school, and when they perform on stage, you will get a presentation which is beautiful and fantastic, because that child has done the best he or she can, right? So as parents, as teachers, when you're observing this, we are taking all the kids, we're not just picking up the best children to do the play. Okay, that's a very different, if you're picking up only the best kids to do a play versus picking up the kids who actually need to improve to do a play, who do you think is going to be better? Obviously, the kids who are the brighter kids, the smarter kids who can speak well, they will perform the class definitely better. Yes, do we all agree on this? Yeah. But we have children who come for our drama classes because they want to become like this. So the quality or the final product of our play will not maybe match to this. But all of us need to know that we need to give them credit. for being able to do the best that they could do given the situation and the circumstances. So I would like all of us to also look at the students and appreciate all the hard work, the effort that they are making to come on stage, speak their lines, do their dance, and go back into it, and making the play or the annual day or your presentation or your play a fantastic, very successful play. Yes. So if you have any questions at this point of time, I could do that. Or Amrit, are we all good with this? Would you like me to continue, or what am I supposed to do? Okay, any questions? You can put up on the chat group if you all have any questions. All right. So if you don't have any more questions, I'd just like to say just one or two things before we sign up for the day is, hi, do we have any questions?
Hi, no, this was a lovely session and I really loved it. And, this, like you said in the beginning, drama, it's now become a part of the curriculum with the NEP. Yeah, and I think it's going to get more popular in the schools. Yeah, we do a lot of role play in our own centers. We have the tender petal schools. So we do a lot of role play and all of that, but it's not like, everybody does it. So I think with the NEP implemented in the right manner, in the right way, I think drama and musicality and dance and movement is going to come a lot into the preschool scenario. Yes. And we'll be getting better responses, because when we talk about a drama workshop or something, I mean, if we say a phonetic workshop, everybody comes in, they run into the whole thing, right? So, but when it's drama and music, I think it needs a little time in India to pick up, but yes, that's going to be, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. So thank you so much for being here. And well, I think, yeah, we can wind up. There's no questions as such. Yeah. Now, you have anything? If you have a closing remark, you can.
Yes, I do. I speak a lot. So I just wanted to tell the teachers who are watching this, when you are working with kids, when you're teaching kids, it's not just that the curriculum that you have with you that you're going to go and teach. Get to know, become a child, see the TV programs that they are watching, read a few books that you want them to read also, so that you can relate to the kids and the kids can relate to you. So if they are watching Peppa Pig, or they're watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, or if they're watching Chota Bheem, I don't know, whatever those programs are. So see a few programs that the kids are watching. So when you make your examples or you're talking to them about them, use those characters in your when you're teaching them different topics, and you'll see how mesmerized they get and how they listen to everything that you say. So be aware of the environment that is there with your children. So they will look at you and say, oh, this teacher is so cool. She gets my language. She gets me. Right?
There's a question for you from Ashraf Nurani in Facebook. Yeah. She has asked you, can you share some interesting themes for play?
Themes?
Yeah.
For what age group? You could have plays on anything. You can just recycle your regular plays, of course. But there's a lot of stuff on the net, which you can pick up. You can pick up anything. You can pick up making a salad, for example, and everybody's doing a different thing and making a stew out of something, or you could do a play of medical doctors. I don't know, you could do anything you want. If it's plays are such fun stuff to do, you can make it more fun for children. Say, for example, you have a camera, okay, and take that camera and go out and click pictures of what you think is important, what you think is fun. Somebody might think clicking cats on the road is fun. Some children might think it's, so many things. Give me do you want like themes, underwater theme you can do jungle, you can do, you know, regular kitchen, garden, whatever kind of, yeah.
Sorry, I was muted. There's one more question, and that is, can you, it's from Narinder Kaur, who asks whether you can suggest some drama games for preschoolers.
Oh, lots. We do. I actually have a lot of, I can do a lot of sessions also to give you all insight. But one of the games that you can play with the children is, okay, so it's a game which is also thinking game. So you have a, say a pair of socks. Okay, this is a pair of socks, and you give it to each child. Now, if you're online, you all can just say, I'm throwing this pair of socks to you. Tell me, what can you do with it? So you can use it as a ball, yeah, or you can use it, or take into two of them, make them into two socks, round them up, and you all can start juggling with them. Okay, ask the kids, what would you do with a ball of socks? Get them to come up with different creative ideas. Okay, they'll have a lot of fun doing it. Or if I say, okay, this is a pen, what else could it be? Yeah, it could be a stick in the ground, and I can put some a little vine of a plant going around it to make it more steady. Or I could use it to put it in my head and tie up my hair, right? Give them different ideas to do these things, and kids would just love it, because they will look at the pen now in a different manner. They will not look at a pen only as a pen, but they can do it in different, how can you use it in different ways, right? Yeah, so you could do something like that. I hope that has answered your question. But we have a lot of games and activities. There's a whole section on that we can do.
Yeah, we can actually plan, you know, a workshop around it.
Yes, yes. I have tons of stuff that I can share with
absolutely
with the
so
teachers,
we
yeah.
generally do the ECDF, you know, 1-day certificate courses. It's like about 90 minutes and stuff.
Superb,
so we can have
superb.
a 2-day workshop or something, and get interested participants to attend the workshop.
Absolutely. And, yeah, because it's so much fun. In fact, that would be a great idea, because we can share so many games, activities. That's the whole part of it, you know, that how would you actually reach, make the kids do these things? So
yeah,
it's
engage
a lot of
them
fun.
in the way.
Yeah. And then once you have one idea, then you can use it for different things. So I will give you 1 or 2 ideas, and then you will realize, oh, I can use this idea for this, and I can use that idea for that as well. And you will just suddenly, with 2 things, you will open up some 5 different ideas will come.
It will be extremely creative, and kind of, you know, it would help even the educators to really have build something creatively around the ideas that you give.
Absolutely.
So we'll come up with that, and I think we are done with the questions, and it was a lovely session. Thank you once again, Sonia, for being here.
Thank you so much.
And we'll get in touch with you again.
Great. Okay, thank you so much.
Joining us,
everybody.
Thanks everybody who's joining us on Facebook. And this is going to be this is a recorded session, so we're going to have it on YouTube, so anybody can watch it later, even in YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.